Hey, welcome to Tim's Tidbits with Tim, Smooth Tim, and Larry E. How you doing, man?
All right, man. Good. You good?
I am doing so good. It is crazy.
Hump day.
It is hump day. We are almost past it all on our way to the weekend, and best of all, it's an extended weekend where we get to feast.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let's get right to the topic and see what happened in the return of the Rittenhouse verdict. And I see that, yeah, the three guys that were involved,
Yeah.
or I mean, rather what am I saying? That he got himself off for even, what was it, three that he killed?
Yes.
Three that he
Oh,
killed,
okay. Yes. Yes.
and I don't know how many that he injured. I was really super shocked that he got off with nothing. But I mean, they came in with this. Did you get a chance to see how they tried to utilize the stand your ground law with Rittenhouse and how that comes
I,
into
s-
play?
I saw some of it, but like I think we was texting each other earlier. It's all about when it comes to the courts, court itself. It's all about what you can prove, not what you know. And we all know that he wasn't down there to protest. But the burden is up on the prosecution to prove that he was out there to act maliciously, and they pretty much failed. So
I find that um, in some ways disturbing because you do have a point. Um, the young man came from out of town. He had an assault weapon. Uh, he created the event, and I think that is where the prosecution tried to go is you created the circumstances. It's not that like you were caught by surprise. And I was looking at the elements of Wisconsin's stand your ground law.
hmm
Naturally, all states are going to be a little bit different, but they're saying number one, the use of force must be proportionate to that of the aggressor. So, I mean, feeling maybe he had three people coming at him and he had no chance of escaping physical harm. That's why he needed to resort to the AR-15 and shooting him. That was the jury's decision. It has to be limited to immediate harm, which means you think it's going to happen now. I mean, you can't go follow a person home and shoot him and think, tomorrow or later on
right,
tonight
right,
they might kick my
right.
ass. No. And you must, I've already mentioned, feel a threat of immediate harm or death to yourself physically. And you must not be the first aggressor in the situation, meaning you can't go calling somebody out and then they come at you and then you shoot them. No, you're,
Yeah, but
which is almost
okay, I
how
can.
that's almost how I feel he was in that situation. But again, the jury didn't see it that way.
Yeah, because like the first ones, I can see that, but the last one, how do they know that he didn't make those people angry that he killed, and they how do they know that from his testimony or the witnesses that's what
You don't know how many witnesses may have or may have not came forward, and
right?
some of the information may have been suppressed.
It always is in cases like that.
You don't know. You really have no idea. What's going on. But what was most disturbing, what was really interesting about this whole Rittenhouse thing was, let me show you a little something.
Okay.
say bullshit.
Man, what if there's a KKK rally and some black people show up with guns and start shooting? How would they fan out a trial?
That was one of the things that was really making my mind wonder a little bit about, when it comes to vigilantism. And not necessarily, I don't know if I want to classify it as vigilantism. That's more like a person fighting crime on their own without authority. But this is just straight out hate. And, to sit there and say, well, I created that situation, and unfortunately some people got killed because I felt like they wanted to whip my ass. But then to be, embraced by the former president as like a hero. I mean, what is he? Is he going to be taking him along in his rallies in 2024? Here's my boy.
This is him right here. This is the guy.
I wonder.
That guy went down there.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And
he baited him in.
I mean, he was found not guilty, so I'll respect what these individuals, the jury decided. But to embrace him, and support him and put him out there as some type of a hero, that's bullshit.
I can't support the decision because there have been a lot of court decisions where other races of man, let's just talk about it. Other races of man, the black man, or could have been situations where they could have been the same situation and I got the same treatment. Maybe it was because of his timing, because of the protest. Maybe if he had been in another situation where it was something else, he would have got been guilty. But I think that with his ties with the presidents and politics, it's all a scam. He should have been guilty because he baited those protesters in. He showed up with a gun with intent to do whatever he was going to do, knowing that they would confront him. So this is all BS, man.
I mean, that's keeping it 100. I would like to see what would happen if you would see an Asian, a Hispanic black man walking down the street, in that same situation with an AR-15, and to what? I mean, I don't understand his intent.
Yeah, why are you down there with AR-15? You're not the police. You're not the FBI. You're not the DEA. Why are you there? You're a kid around very angry people that are already frustrated and angry because of a situation where justice has not been served, and then you down there with a gun, purposely trying to bait them in, in which you did bait a man, but he's lucky that his life wasn't taken.
You know that?
Very lucky.
Yeah, I'm surprised that when the crowd got to him that he just didn't get killed.
Yeah, he's very lucky that his life was going to take. But they would, like I said, I wasn't there when it happened, but I know for a fact, if you show up with a gun at a rally, if I show up at a KKK rally, baiting on angry white guys is pissed off because black people or Hispanic people or foreigners are here, I'm pretty sure something's gonna pop off. I'm pretty sure. And if I got a gun, and when I show up, that means I'm baiting a man. I'm shooting somebody. That's all I'm saying.
If you show up at a KKK rally, let me see. I just can't see it happening, but okay.
Think about me showing up at a KKK rally. I'm the only brother there. I'm up to no good. You know me. That means, okay, we playing this game? Yeah. Got you. If he can get away with it, I'm going to get away with it. I'm standing my ground.
No, I think I think it really does send a bad message. And I think that you're going to have a lot of states explore their stand your ground law and maybe reform it just a little bit.
But it goes to show you that if, and I'm going to say this blatantly, if you're not the right color in court, if you're a black dude or any other race that's considered a minority, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get screwed. You might get screwed. So stay out of court. I'm saying just avoid it. Stay out of court. The best way for you not to get convicted of anything that you haven't done is don't be around people that are doing things that you haven't done, and stay out of court. Hopefully you won't be in there, because I've seen a lot of bad things happen to good people in court where they made a bad decision. A lot of people just make bad decisions.
Oh, we all make bad decisions, Larry.
Yeah.
Let's keep that part real.
He made a horrible decision. He went to a rally with a bunch of angry black people with a gun. What do you think gonna happen? All right, come on, man. Somebody gonna run up on you. Somebody gonna run down on you. Luckily, he didn't go to he didn't go to the wrong place though. If he didn't went to the hood, yeah, nah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where exactly the incident did take place, but
It's just that's just plain pathetic. And it's like I say, it's all what you can prove in court. It's not what you know. We all know he was full of crap. We all know that he went there with the intent to bait somebody to do something. That's why he brought the gun. It was a bait, lure and bait, and then he won his battle.
yeah, I feel sorry for the families that lost their children. My heart's and prayers go out to you, family.
I feel sorry for him because now everybody knows who he is.
Oh yeah, and he's sitting there concerned about people that send him death threats.
His life is pretty much done. When he made that decision, he's screwed.
Hello, you opened a can of fucking worms, dumbass.
Bro, you done. What was the other guy? I forgot. It's been a while since he shot Trayvon. Trayvon. Who was that guy's name?
Who that?
The stand your ground guy that shot Trayvon.
Remember? Oh, yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, they was all over him. And they still he's probably like in hiding right now. So
yeah, your life's never gonna be normal again.
No, I'm like he shouldn't have went down there. He shouldn't have went down there. This trial never should have happened. Those people never should have got killed. It was just this horrible.
It's best he's out of prison because he would have never made it in prison.
They would have got him.
They would have got him.
It was a horrible sadistic decision. He's a kid. He's idiotic. He shouldn't have been down there. And everybody involved in that should suffer his consequences, even though he got away with the judicial system. But we already know there's already problems in that. But when it comes back to the real world, he has a long way to go.
We'll see what happens, man. I agree. Because I guess they've got now, it's totally up to the judge on how he decides he's going to stack it up and sentence these guys. So we'll see. I imagine that it's not going to happen until after Thanksgiving anyhow. So we'll be talking about it again. Hey, man, next subject was, are we living in a gig economy, and what in the hell is a gig economy?
For years, the norm for a job has been permanent full or part-time employment. But recently, more and more people are beginning to take on a variety of short-term jobs, also known as gigs. These include things like freelancing, temp jobs, jobs in the sharing economy, and more. All of these different jobs form something called the gig economy. The gig economy is beginning to take up a larger portion of the workforce, and studies show no sign of it slowing down. This is partially due to the evolution of technology. Companies are now able to hire workers anywhere in the world who can then easily telecommute and work remotely for them. Mobile apps have allowed businesses like Uber and Airbnb to grow an enormous amount of contract workers. And social media has given people the ability to market themselves and sell their products and services at a much cheaper cost than traditional advertising. It's hard to say exactly how the rise of the gig economy will affect and change the future of the job market, but we do know that both companies and workers will need to continue to adapt to it.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
So, do we live in a gig society? Seems a whole lot of people are doing that shit, Larry.
Yeah, man, they start outsourcing jobs to other countries, and it starts like that. Then the pandemic, it kind of put everybody back inside the house. And a lot of people I speak to, they're introverts. They really don't like to be out and about and be around people. They would prefer to have their stuff delivered to them. They would prefer to be work alone or work from home. A lot of people are like that. And that's just something that was already here before the gig economy got big, but it's coming. Technology has changed everything too, though.
Oh, absolutely. I know a lot of individuals that, they do make their entire life living, through the Uber Eats, Door Dashing, the Lyft type stuff. And they make a pretty good wage, and they can
Well, I think with insurance, I don't think a lot of these people that have these gig jobs, the people I know, they never talk about insurance with their gig jobs. It's just something they're doing just to get by, just to make money, just to make ends meet. I don't even think that those individuals like the DoorDash and all that, I don't think they looked at the long term effects of it. And I think some of them have a like that's still like their side job. You know what I'm saying? A side
It's a
hustle.
side hustle. Hey, look at it
Like
as
a
a side
side hustle.
hustle, though. But you got to understand. Let's look at a for instance. Okay, you're already backlogged to the IRS for one reason or the other. You're indebted
Mm-hmm.
to the court service, whether it be for some type of traffic fine, or you're into probate over child support or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How are you handling that? How are you handling your retirement into Social Security or any retirement at all? I mean, what the hell are you going to do?
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
I
people
think
are so.
they look at the moment, the hustle at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and don't realize that down the line there's going to be some repercussions for that immediate gratification.
Yeah, man, disparity changes everything. When you really need to get by, you will practically try anything. And these companies are actually taking advantage of people that need these side gigs or hustles.
I
Some
think you're
some of
right.
it's full time, and,
You're
and
right.
and that's business. Yeah, and that's business. So business is going to be business. Business doesn't care about your mother, your father, or your taxes, or your insurance. Business cares about can you make me money. The business cares about the bottom line.
Yeah, and I don't think that any of these DoorDashes, Uber Eats, Lyft, any of these type of services offer their employees jack shit besides
Yeah,
money for doing the
they
run.
they may offer the main employees, the people that run the websites and all the stuff like that to put it all together, the mainframe, you know what I'm saying? The brain, I think the brains of the operation probably has insurance. But when it comes to just the workers,
Yeah,
they
yeah, part of it, and I seen in is the ability for some that fine line between are you my employee or are you here as a contractor? If I got you, let's say
gig and just money and roll with it if you got that. But if you're looking at down the line and your survival, your true survival when you get older, you have to have some kind of savings, some kind of insurance, some kind of medical because you can't pay out of pocket. They got these insurance companies you can pay out of pocket, but those rates are horrendous,
ridiculous.
incredible. You can't. Who? It's gonna be your whole gig check.
just to
Been
pay
gigging all week.
just
You've been
just
gigging all week
just
and
to
got to go
pay
to
for
the
the
doctor.
various insurances you may need. Like I
But you
said,
know
I
what I
mean,
found out too? I found out they have these small companies. I forgot one of them, but they're smaller companies and they advertise like we can have you in and out in 30 minutes. Like Ultra Care or something like that, in and out in 30 minutes. So you go in sick as a dog, so they can determine your sickness within 30 minutes with no blood test. All they do is check your blood pressure, listen to your heart, put a thing on your finger, and they give you some medicine, prescribe it, go to the doctor. So those gig people that don't have the insurance can go to those Ultra Care places. Those little clinics they got on the side that you go to just in case you get hurt or at work and you got to go get a
those
blood
urgent
test to
care
see if you
centers.
yeah, no, one of those things they popping up everywhere. It's like the herpes of the medical field,
Yeah,
everywhere, man.
yeah,
And they all pop up in the same location.
and sometimes that's the only choice you get.
Yeah, you go in and then you pay like $60, $70, and then you see the doctor, which is a nurse practitioner or someone that in the medical field is trained or whatever. You see them, you pay your money, they give you some kind of BS diagnosis of what's wrong with you, and then you go about your business. You're happy again because you saw the doctor.
But when you look at that, some of those particular type of services are, riding off the back of people and their government assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking at that. They just want to get their hands into that governmental money, and the
Yeah.
service that you're going to get is very subpar.
Yeah, and then like your taxes, I don't know how you're gonna do this. You got to itemize everything, with driving, and if your cars are right off, you have to itemize everything with gas and everything foul. You got to do something.
I mean, yeah,
You
it's a
can't say-
business, so I mean, you know, you got a lot to take care of, and you got a lot of forethinking. I mean, I would be very hesitant, as you said, is to want to try to embrace a gigging my entire, you know, life for 3 or 4 years. I mean, I would be
I think that's something temporary. Gigging is something temporary, something on the side to make quick bucks. If you're doing gigging,
I think
if
it's a
you're-
great side hustle.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. That shouldn't be your main job.
You should be
'Cause it's
looking
like
at
you say,
yeah.
taxes.
I need
Taxes is one thing. Yeah,
I need retirement. I need health care.
retirement, medical.
I need medical. I mean, yeah. I put all
I'm
this
trying to
other.
go to the herpes clinic, the little herpes clinics they have popping up everywhere for $80. I want to go to a real doctor and see a physician.
Yeah, but a lot of people like the freedom of being a entrepreneur. Let's call them. I can move around. I can be a nomad. I can live in Ohio and work for a company in Great Britain.
That's true. And if it pays well, then you can set your stuff up well. So you just got to just. I think in this case,
if you're gonna take that kind of if you're gonna get into that type of a lifestyle, as Larry and I are telling you, think fucking ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Arbery Trial, man. What do you think about what's going on? These guys, they're in deliberation still, right?
I got confused. I got confused at first with the Rittenhouse thing, but these guys, they said they're guilty. Okay, they said, am I right? They said all of them are guilty.
On the Arbery trial, yes, all of them are guilty. Yes,
and we knew that.
The different degrees, degrees, and
so.
Yeah, I think the only guy that got off kind of easy was the guy that the blonde-haired guy. It looks like he should have been on Dumb and Dumber. Remember the wait, no.
The chip
Yeah, remember the blonde-haired guy? He kind of looks like
an idiot.
But anyhow,
Man.
no, and I mean, you know, and they tried everything they could. The defense is what really, and you caught this comment, right? Where the defense is like trying to paint, you know, Arbery as some type of a thug lowlife.
Creeping into a home that is not his own and running away instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. But a mother's love doesn't fade from that beautiful boy in the ball cap to the young intruder. And sadly, no verdict can change the grief of that future not realized. The hope that he could have turned himself around. Because all we can guess about the young man is that his teenage years were full of promise, but his early 20s just led him in the wrong direction. The facts presented in this trial bear no resemblance to the story that the state told you in opening statement. A 25-year-old who met a brutal death after being chased and killed by residents of a neighborhood who wanted nothing more than to murder him for having the audacity to jog in their neighborhood. Not a single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. There were 2 sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichaels decisions that led to this tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine.
And
Okay, was she the defense or was she the prosecutor?
she was for the defense. If he was caught or she was gone with that BS. Now, real quickly, why she brought up the dirty toenails and all this is because they kept at various times throughout the trial bring up the fact that Ahmaud Arbery had some mental issues in the past.
Okay.
And he had some trouble with the police in the past, but that wasn't relevant to what was going on now. And so she tried to sway back that way by going, his early years is informed, how she led into that, was kind of trouble. Now he's getting better, but he didn't even want to cover up his, dirty long toenails, like he's unkept. Yeah, kind of like, meh. Yeah, that's where she was going with that bullshit. But no, it didn't work.
Man, that reminds me of stuff I saw when they did slaves back in the day, man.
Isn't that almost like what they are? Yeah, they're chasing down somebody and just got,
the way slaves.
I mean, we've talked about it before. We've seen the video. Yeah. We watched it on a previous show. I mean, it's sad and it's sickening.
And if I saw some guys approaching me and I don't have a gun, and it's three of them, whether they're black, whether they're white, I know I couldn't defend myself. I would have to try to run too. I don't have to run, but.
Well, I don't care if I'm in a black neighborhood and I've got a bunch of black people chasing me with a gun.
Run it.
I'm gonna run. Come on, man.
Run. I'm like, I can't defend myself. And I've had a gun like the Rittenhouse guy had. I defend myself, but can't do nothing with three men trying to harm you or hurt you.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna lose.
It's fight or flight, right?
Yeah,
the rule fight or flight. And he didn't have any weapons, so what are you gonna do?
At least they found him guilty. That's a start. But I just want to see what the penalties are going to be. Somebody should be facing some stiff penalties because of what they did. Because that's first-degree murder.
Right.
It's not vehicular manslaughter. It's first-degree murder. That means they intentionally said we're going to kill this guy. So that means it's whatever the highest degree is to what you can get from your conviction. They should get all of them.
So for because I think one guy had like 7 counts, one guy had like 6 counts, one guy had like 5 counts.
I'm just saying
and each of them carried like a 25-year sentence. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna run those concurrent or consecutive. That's up to the judge. Concurrent means it could be they'll serve all of them together. So 25 years and out they would be exonerated. Done with their sentencing on the crime. Or if he did it consecutive, it would be after you're done with that first 25, here comes the next, and then here comes the next. I mean, they'll never have, that's like 200 years.
Yeah, that's going to be our follow-up show. So we can dig into that. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting on how the judge decides he's going to sentence them.
Yeah, because I really want to know that because I'm being kind of pessimistic right now, but I don't think they're going to get what they really, really should get. Just because we are in America and it was a black man and we've seen how some of these trials have gone.
From what I've seen, I think that the judge has some dignity to him.
Right.
In regard to, he was not going to allow you to sit there and defame the dead person. By saying he had these issues, that issues, and that's why. But that had nothing to do with it. And he wasn't going to put right. And he wasn't going to put up with this bullshit of how many reverends do they have? First, they've got Jesse in the crowd, and then they had Al Sharpton. And he who cares? That's what's your problem?
They said somebody had dug up Martin Luther King and they had him. They were trying to bring him in. They were like, no, you can't bring no. They didn't let him bring the casket.
No.
That's when the judge said, no, that's enough. Okay,
that's too extreme, gentlemen. But no, the defense was trying everything they could because Larry, as you and I both, and anybody that's watched the video that isn't completely blind, they've seen them kill a man.
Yeah, man. It's 2020, man. 2021.
And you know what's interesting? I don't think if that one guy would have recorded it, they would have got away with it.
Well, they recorded it because they thought they were going to get away with it. For some reason, they were like, "We're going to get away with this. Record this shit, dummies." I'm like, how you gonna be racist and be stupid?
Yeah, but check. You heard the other part of that is people were questioning on why did it take so long for this all to end up getting prosecuted, these people brought in.
They were trying to find a way to bury it.
It ends up this one McQuarrie or whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, and they couldn't bury it.
He used to be an investigator for the prosecutor's office. He had a relationship within the prosecutor's office. One of the defendants. Oh, and now they're looking at the prosecutor saying, you're not supposed to, some broad, I don't know what her name is, I shouldn't call her, some female.
They call her broad. It's sexist.
Some female prosecuting attorney.
Well, you are kind of angry though, so that you can say.
Yeah, I was angry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I apologize for that sexist remark. But in any regard, apparently that's why now they're looking at her for dropping the ball, saying, well, the only reason you dropped the ball and your failure to do your job was because of a prior relationship with this one defendant.
Woo! Boy,
so that could get interesting. And then the other thing that I really felt that wowed me today when Queen and I was watching where they were talking about the verdict on these clowns, the one neighbor who filmed it had just met those guys that day.
So he's just the biggest dummy out of all of them. The biggest dummy. So
yeah, I would have to look. If that is true, it's like, you're right, Larry. I mean, the news said that, but you can't always believe the news.
Hey, exactly. The media is undefeated. But you know what they say?
When they said that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Man, God, this guy is like the dumbest human being walking.
Birds of the same feather flock together. Even if he just met him, he still just like him. That's why he recorded it.
I don't get it. Anyhow, hey, man, back in the beginning of the pandemic, we know that people were getting the unemployment benefits.
Fat checks.
And, it seems like Uncle Sam might want some of his money back from people that scammed him.
2 months ago, the federal government stopped providing special unemployment benefits to gig workers, independent contractors, and the self-employed. Those special benefits were meant to throw a lifeline, of course, to those who lost their income due to the pandemic, but didn't qualify for traditional unemployment benefits.
The benefits began almost 2 years ago, but now the EDD is suddenly requiring these workers to prove they really were eligible, or they have to pay them all back. 7 on your side's Michael Finney is here with the latest upset at the EDD. Michael.
Imagine hearing this. Now, this is coming as a shock, just as folks are getting back on their feet as the holidays approach. Nearly 1 million Californians are receiving these threatening notices. EDD saying it's a federal rule. They must prove they were really self-employed or pay back the money that helped get them through the pandemic. And get this, they could get hit with a 30% penalty.
Whether you're in the gig economy, whether you're an independent contractor, everybody who is now out of work is eligible for unemployment insurance.
Those reassuring words from federal lawmakers announced pandemic relief for all as COVID-19 swept the nation, shutting down the economy, throwing millions out of work. The government would pay pandemic benefits even to the self-employed, like Uber drivers, beauticians, and store owners forced to close shop.
They really needed us to stop working.
It was really, really tough for us to survive, pay rent, pay bills.
That money helped all of us sort of stay afloat.
It was great to, have the government help us out.
Einstein Paredes owns a salon in San Francisco. Heather Mendoza is a hairstylist in San Jose. Both had to stop working in the pandemic and received unemployment benefits from the EDD. Now, nearly 2 years later, EDD is requiring them to prove they deserved it, sending each of them this startling text message.
At first, it was really intimidating. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do now?
It's a pull and tug, kind of thing, like you're giving me money, but now you don't think I deserve the money.
The text reads, EDD alert. Federal rules require you to provide documents or risk repaying benefits. At first, Einstein thought it was a phishing scam.
People trying to steal your identity or your information.
Thousands more got the same notice in this email, reading, if you do not provide the required documents, you may have to repay benefits. And we will add a 30% penalty if you intentionally give false information.
I don't understand why a year later you're asking me for this information.
It's just, really nerve-wracking to sit on pins and needles, a year and a half later, wondering if you're going to have to pay that back.
The EDD awarded unemployment benefits to nearly 3 million self-employed Californians since April 2020. However, EDD says nearly 1 million only signed their claims under penalty of perjury or lack enough documents. Last December, Congress extended the pandemic benefits but required proof of eligibility. That was to stop rampant fraud, scammers fabricating stories to collect benefits. Now, EDD is backtracking to get all required paperwork.
We provided that information already.
It sucks for us because we have to go through the extra legwork.
So we're backtracking, we're backpedaling. So it makes me feel like we were lied to.
So folks are asking why EDD didn't require everyone to supply documents in the first place instead of giving out money and asking for proof nearly 2 years later. Well, EDD says it just wanted to get payments out faster. Now, I've posted a link with information on what documents you need in order to prove you were eligible. You can get all of that information at abc7news.com, and I would carefully read it.
Yeah, 30% penalty. Be cautious.
Ouch.
Yeah, wow. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Well.
Hey, Tim, the government is greedy. Anytime the government starts handing out dollars, beware.
Right.
Beware, because it's got to be a catch. It's got to be something. And if you get the money that fast and it's not tax child credit or whatever or something like that, EBB, anything, you got to understand the government's greedy. When they start giving them money, they either messed up or they did try to do the right thing. They try to bail everybody out, help the economy. Really help the economy because the people they're giving the money to is coming back to the government anyway through taxes. So they're not really helping anybody because money's coming back anyway. But
they had good intent. They had good intent on what they wanted to do. However, execution was horrible.
Horrible. But the ones that did get over, they need to pay. Like those business owners, the stylists, if they were true to the game and they really were unemployed, they got businesses, they shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, but don't. I guess the domino effect of the people that actually scam the system, and I'd sent you a little link earlier to where you can get on YouTube, if you would like, and a how-to video to scam the system. How to work getting people's Social Security numbers, how to get their birth dates, how to set up false mailboxes or set up. Maybe in vacant homes or whatever they gave all kinds of tips. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And I mean, you're talking millions of dollars when they're scamming this. They may set up a false agency, but these people are getting millions of dollars, from the EDD system, right. And then it's just gone. As you said, I believe you brought up the topic that you've heard that's going overseas accounts too.
Yeah, they have some people that intentionally set these things up just to scam the government out of money. And then once the money hits the account, it's snatched out of the American account and sent directly overseas. So you have organizations that are organizing scams before this scam, there are other scams that have been out there. So the scamming is here. That's just nature in people. I think this may be one of the biggest scams other than the Potsy scam. This is probably the biggest scam. We didn't run the numbers, but Posse scam was a big scam, but this is way bigger than Posse scam.
This is big, yeah, because, if you really think about it, now you have legitimate business owners. You just touched upon that, Larry, that owns a salon, like these people that were in this particular video. They're legit.
Yeah.
And now they have to go through all these, hoops, twists and turns to supply the documentation of, I'm for real. But however, Tim over here and Larry over here has got, 500 or 600, accounts that they drug off of and threw it into some money. And
right.
Where's the money, Larry? Where's the money, Tim?
They not getting the professionals ain't gonna get caught because they already got their shit.
They were talking about that too on the training video. This is stupid. On the training video, well, about 20% of the people get caught, but those who don't.
Oh,
they find it enticing. You're like, let me think. God, I could be one of those 8. That's better than the freaking lottery.
Man, and I know for a fact, Tim, it's got to be some of these big wigs, big organizations, companies that's making big money. I guarantee they in on a scam too.
Well, look at for instance, let's get into, and I don't know how you segued into this one, but that's part of why the court systems, looking into the Trump organization because of the way they file their taxes. Some way he decides that he's going to file that they made capital gains, and they're going to show that to their investors. And when he files with the IRS, all of a sudden he's showing capital losses. Now which one is it? Are you got capital gains? Which one is it? Are you losing money or making money, Don? You can't be doing both.
No, he's scamming them. I'm like, oh my God, bro, there's so many. And
that's part of it. That's part of it that they're looking into, is they're saying, and that's already came out. Yeah, that he's filing, the same year that I did a profit here and a loss here, but your paperwork doesn't jive. You can't lose money and make money. You can't lie to the people that you're investing in and saying I'm making money and tell the IRS I lost my ass.
Well, even if they made money for them, they still got to see the money. There should be money in their accounts saying that you made money for them. And
he'll treat them like one of the laborers from from when they were building his buildings, and when they're done with it, they just go bankrupt and sorry, you're out of luck.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. And then rename it Trump's Tower instead of Trump is Trump's. Still be in business. That's all you got to do. File bankruptcy and rename it. Start over. That's all you do. That's what business is about. It's crazy like that, but
yeah,
Trump,
I do.
They've been on. He was 30.
But I don't know if you know anybody that was into that EDD scam. But yeah, there's.
I heard of a few.
Having them,
like I said, I told people.
And they were selling them. You could buy 40, 50 accounts. They'd sell you the damn. It's crazy what they were doing. Like you say, it's going to be bigger than. It's probably one of the biggest scams that ever happened.
Because the government, it's going to be a lot of people going to jail for that crap.
Well, because they had poor execution.
And if you got paperwork, submit your paperwork. And if you did the right thing, submit your paperwork, avoid that 30% penalty, and go on about your business. That's all you got to do. And, somebody complained, a couple of years like, I got a business, I got to backtrack. No, backtrack, bro. Would you rather backtrack and get penalized 30% of what you got? What if you got $500,000, $600,000? Okay, and they're going to charge you 30% if you don't submit 2 documents, knowing that you did have a business.
Right.
Submit your paperwork.
Yeah, I think, Bobby, that would be something as simple as show me your business license and show me a lease agreement.
Yeah, EIN number, and if you got if you have a business and you got sole proprietorship, sole proprietorship, you got the LLC, limited liability company or whatever, you got to have an EIN number. And then basically, when you have an LLC, you got to send annual reports in to the IRS. But when you got a sole proprietorship, you really ain't got to do any of that because it's just on you. You just got to itemize your stuff and then do your taxes. But if you have an LLC, it's easy. You got to send the annual reports in anyway. So just if you've been sending annual reports before then, they probably going to ask for that. I need to see your annual reports. So you have them on file, and usually you keep them for about I don't know how long you keep them, but you have those reports on hand. So that's too easy.
Well, I had a business for a while. And
so you know how it goes. If it's an LLC, you got to have annual reports.
And, even all that money that came in, they could probably still write it off as a loss. You know what I mean? I'm still making investments, but I still can't open up. I'm sure there's some tax attorneys that could still make money off of the money they made. You with me, Larry?
Oh, yeah, I froze up a little bit, yeah.
But anyhow, like I was saying, I still think that people that were above board, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, just send your paperwork in, you'll be okay. Everybody else that did that crap, you deserve what you get.
Let's move on, man. Tomorrow is Turkey Day.
30% or go to jail.
I said,
pay it back plus 30% or go to jail. That's on you.
There you go.
They're gonna put a lien on everything in your life.
Yeah, that's the one person I never want to owe money. I've had that discussions before. Anybody, but the IRS, because they can get you anywhere.
They shut all your stuff down. It's like
what happened to Larry? Larry froze up on me.
Larry. I froze up again. Yeah, you got me?
Okay. Is that your connection or my connection? I don't know.
Oh, I froze. I see your thing on the keyboard. I think it might. Is that you with the mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, it's freezing up. I'm telling you, man, there's somebody trying to sabotage us.
That's what it is. I said, quickly, tomorrow is Turkey Day, Larry. You brought it up. What do you got to say about Happy Thanksgiving to everybody?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. And I'm going to ruin it with this. I'm going to ruin it with the top 10 myths about Thanksgiving. Hey, Tim, say the word for me. Myth.
Myths.
Myths. I can't say it right.
Myth. Like, it's myth. It's
a
myth. It is
okay,
untrue.
Check this out, man.
M-Y-T-H.
I'm going to give, because we kind of pressed for time, because we kind of know a little bit, but check this out, people. A lot of people think that Thanksgiving Day, the Pilgrims held the first Thanksgiving. They really didn't. The first Thanksgiving was held in El Paso in 1958. Okay, by San Elizardo, the community near El Paso. So that's a myth. It wasn't them. And then myth number 2 about Thanksgiving, people think Thanksgiving is about family. No, it's not. Thanksgiving was about community. The first Thanksgiving was all about the community getting together to celebrate. Before, I think it was but well before the Pilgrims. Even if Thanksgiving was about family, the Pilgrims never would invite the Indians, because they just didn't do that. People think that let me see, give another myth right here. I'm reading these off. Oh, here's a good one. Christopher Columbus, he never landed on Plymouth Rock. A lot of people think he landed on Plymouth Rock. He didn't land on Plymouth Rock. He landed somewhere else, actually. I'm not going to bring it up because we pressed for time. But those are some of the myths. I was trying to ruin your Thanksgiving a little bit about Thanksgiving.
Right,
a lot of false stuff going on.
Like I said, I think some of the funniest depictions that I see, or some of is what you're learning in school, and when they have like the little picture book.
It's all wrong.
Here's what Thanksgiving was all about.
It's all fictitious, because it's all wrong. Everything is wrong. I didn't read out. You can actually look these up. Because it's really easy to look them up, and this is true. All this stuff is true. You can actually look them up online and just find the history about the top 10 myths about Thanksgiving. Look them up. You'll be very shocked to see that when you were in school, you were taught the wrong things. Basically, you're stupid when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Would you be interested to hear Thanksgiving from an Indian's perspective?
Yeah, what is it?
Listen to this.
When I think of Thanksgiving, what comes to mind is not thankfulness or a big turkey. What I think of is far more important and serious. Every year at the end of November, families all across the United States celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. This occasion has evolved into a time of expressing gratitude and sharing a bountiful meal with family. Relatives have awkward conversations while a huge turkey is scarfed down around a table. When I was in grade school, my history books depicted the first Thanksgiving meal as a peaceful gathering between white European settlers and Native American people. But there is a lesser-known truth behind this narrative. This Thanksgiving origin story that I was taught in school was a revisionist and whitewashed version of what actually happened. Following the arrival of Christopher Columbus on the shores of America in 1492, a steady stream of white European families traveled across the Atlantic Ocean to settle in this new territory. At first, they were ill-equipped to handle the harsh realities of its wilderness and climate, but indigenous tribes fed them and taught them how to grow corn and other crops to live on the land. Then, everything took a turn for the worse. This is where the revisionist whitewashing in this story happens, because it was not a peaceful coexistence between Native American tribes and white colonial settlers. Empowered by their religious beliefs and a racist disdain for the indigenous tribes, white European settlers murdered and stole from the indigenous communities who had been thriving on this land for thousands of years and multiple generations. These colonial settlers destroyed indigenous cultures by eradicating them, and even sold captive tribal members off to slavery. This brutal and racist genocide continued throughout the expansion of the United States westward to the Pacific Ocean. Five-term governor of Plymouth Colony, William Bradford, described Native Americans as savage people who are cruel, barbarous, and most treacherous. At every level, the settlers were intent on vilifying and disempowering indigenous people. Thanksgiving has been whitewashed as a symbol of kind gratitude expressed by the white European settlers toward native tribes. This revisionist history only serves to silence the stories and voices of the millions of indigenous people who were slaughtered under a heartless and cruel colonialist agenda. Since 1970, the United American Indians of New England have carried out a national day of mourning during the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. This is what they have to say about it. Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of Native people, the theft of Native lands, and the relentless assaults on Native culture. Participants in National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience.
It sounds like black people. God, talk.
I hope we made your Thanksgiving happy.
I'm depressed now. I'm like, damn. Well,
truth is the truth. I mean, come on, let's keep it real.
Yeah,
I mean,
bad.
It is since the day of the Bible. I mean, even when, Moses led the people into the promised land, what did they do? They warred and they killed and they took, right? I mean, so it's something that's been in us forever and ever.
That's our legacy.
And look at what the Egyptians did, enslaving
everybody.
I mean, it's nothing freaking new.
Well, the jacked up part about it is how it's been whitewashed and how they're trying to hide it and flip it, because they're trying to not just tell the truth. I'm like, and it might be a little bit hard on children. And I don't know. I can't really say because I don't know what their thought was in school. So we didn't. I think it's bad that you're not teaching our history. That's our history.
Yeah, you don't.
That's our history.
I mean, they originally outnumbered, the indigenous tribes of the area outnumbered. That's how they walked into the Thanksgiving festival. If you hear other accounts of it, part of it was the pilgrims were celebrating and they were shooting off guns, and it alerted the native tribes of the area, the indigenous people, that something's going on, something's amiss. So they gathered up their warriors and they outnumbered the pilgrims like 3-1. They just came walking into camp. It's like, what's up?
Right.
And oh well, hey, maybe we used to sit down and eat, and they didn't have turkey; they had deer.
They had deer. I was gonna say that too. They had deer and they didn't have forks or nothing like that. They only had deer. There wasn't no turkeys back then. It was corn and deer, and it was like stuff you see that you live off the land, rabbits.
And they ate, and I think they didn't even have turkey. They were planning on eating eel or something.
I knew for a fact they ate deer.
Yeah, I know for a fact they did eat deer because I know that Europeans consider venison as a delicacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that they were going to eat eel, which sounds absolutely delicious in the middle of November. But yeah, it's been like that, and I mean, the oppression has to stop. I mean, look what's going on. Did you see? Is it Ethiopia where they're having the uprising? They're trying to get people the hell out of there. Apparently, there's a militant group taking over there, trying to take authority. Now they're, I've never understood that type of need for power, that type of need for control, whether it be dictatorship. I mean, my God, we have a democratic society, and we're all screwed up.
Yeah, man, control is a disease, and that everybody has. And the crazy part about control, you can only control yourself. You really can't control other people. The only thing you do is get people that believe in what you believe in and add to your control and overwhelm the minority. And that's what happened here in America. It's all about control and power.
Right.
And that's our legacy as a human race.
Right. They'll if I suppress you enough, you'll submit to my control. You're gonna need food, you're gonna need water, you're gonna need certain necessities in life. And if I wanted to be a dictator and I wanted to hold that shit,
I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'm not gonna take your shit. I'm like, you already got something. Why are you trying to take mine? I'm like, but that's just how it is. I'm like, we are at war. We always will be at war.
That's why I don't want to be at war in the United States. I think we do have a serious issue when it comes to biases. And the biases come in so many different forms. Whether it be because you're a man, you're a woman, because you're black, because you're white,
you're fat, you're short, you're tall.
Because I'm a Catholic, you're a Jew, whatever.
Yeah, Republican, Democrat, it's all bull crap.
Get over it.
The problem is people don't know how to communicate. If they know how to communicate with each other, if they get rid of all these barriers they got,
all these agendas
and barriers, which is basically a barrier. I'm like, what your agenda is this? At the end of the day, everybody's agenda should be to just live. Enjoy life as much as they can while they're here.
I just said, wait, could you imagine? That's a John Lennon song. Imagine all the people. Man, imagine that, John, because that ain't never going to happen.
Man, he tried. Everybody wished, but we know how we are.
Yeah.
We know how we are. We know how they are.
I think it'd be interesting if we could, and I think that that's one of the keys that whoever is our president, whether it be, and I don't know if Biden's going to run for re-election or how he's going to do in the next, 3 years? He's been in office 1 year. So but you're going to have some type of a cause. You got to have something for all of us to grab a hold of and, look forward to and to work towards.
What I hate about politics is they worried about foreign relations. Won't you fix America first?
You might be surprised.
America has been damaged. America was damaged from the first time that they started building this country. It was damaged then. It's still damaged now, but they just trying to get foreign relations and this just to get more money, more power, more leverage. Once you fix your country first before you start worrying about another country.
America can be a hell of a machine. We've proved ourselves over and over again from World War I, World War II, that, everybody will pitch in. If my old man's at war fighting on the front, well, I'll be in the factory making the shit to blow these people up. Nobody, and you didn't hear of a lot of issues back then when it came to, tensions, you're a male, you're a female. Everybody was kind of like, put that shit off to the side because they had a common cause.
I think out of all the holidays, Thanksgiving is probably the most controversial because of the
truth behind it. The truth behind it.
The history behind it. Yeah, the truth behind it is most controversial, and people, it's been commercialized. And I want to ask you this: do people really want to know the truth? The black people really want to know the truth. White people really want to know the truth. Hispanics or whatever. Do Americans really want to know the truth? Are they cool with this bullshit we're doing with the commercialized holidays and Thanksgiving, the turkey? I like to know the truth. You know, I want to know the truth. I want to know what really happened. Let me decide. Tell me the truth. Don't make me decide by saying this how it was, this how it's gonna be.
Well,
So
they
Americans
like
really know the
this.
truth.
They continually stifle your education. You know, we discussed that they don't want to have racial theory taught in schools, right? You look at now, they don't want you to associate Christ and Christmas into schools. Okay, well, what's Christmas all about? You know, how all of a sudden now is, you know, Christ out of the picture and Santa's into it and presents. I mean,
it's commercial. It's just a
it's like, it's amazing to me how they disassociate, you know, the truth. And as long as I keep telling you a lie long enough, Larry, we know it soon becomes the truth.
Yeah, and I'm saying, if you ain't gonna treat the truth, if you're not gonna teach the truth in school, then don't teach history. Replace it with law. You know, law is law. Now, whether you follow it properly or not, that's what determines whether you're successful with law. But law is law. If you don't want to teach the truth, take it out. You know, just take it out. Put something else in there. There's other things they can teach in school. Real life stuff these kids need to know.
Yeah, there's other stuff they could teach the truth in school.
No, they don't do that. The truth hurts.
That ain't gonna happen.
This country, the 1%ers, I ain't gonna say the 1%ers, but this country is embarrassed about its legacy. This country is embarrassed. I'm embarrassed about how my people were treated. I'm embarrassed how other people were treated. I'm embarrassed how all kinds of stuff that went down in America. I'm embarrassed by that. I haven't treated anybody that way, but I'm embarrassed how the Irish were treated, how the Asians were treated, and we all know who were treated like crap in this country. And in this country, got rich off of people's misery and hard work, and their ancestors, they how can I say, their great grandchildren don't have anything to show for it. So I'm embarrassed by how I'm embarrassed with my country, how they treat people, how they use people, and how politicians get in office and how can I say, commercialize everything just to put up a smoke screen while they're getting rich.
No, wealthy.
Oh, wealthy, my bad. Because when you're wealthy, you don't run out of money. When you're rich, you can run out of money.
When you're wealthy, you can pretty much, tell the system how to operate.
You never run out of money. Yeah, when you're wealthy, you don't run out of money. It's there forever. Your great's there because you got the right connections with the right people, and you got your money invested in the right, like Rockefellers and all this, Chase Morgan, those banks and Rockefellers, all that stuff. They never run out of money. They wealthy. John Deere. A lot of people know John Deere was big back in the day. He's still kicking right now. Not him, but John Deere tractors. Wealthy.
Think about it. Absolutely.
I think I'm 100 there.
I have to count the change in my pocket. I might be a couple of hundred there. Hang on. We talking pennies, right?
I might run out of money before the show is over with. I'm nervous right now. Like,
oh man. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. I really do truly wish everybody has a very, very good Thanksgiving. And I know, Larry, as always, you got something to give everybody, a little bit of health tip.
Yes.
Especially with keeping their stomach in shape. Geez, we're going to be eating like pigs.
Right. Y'all know me as LRE, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. It's my business. I'm a personal trainer. Listen, give you 2 tips. I know everybody's going to drink a lot of alcohol. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, there's something wrong with it, but alcohol is alcohol. So if you drink a lot of alcohol, drink a lot of water. The water helps you recover and not have a lot of times you feel sluggish the next day. The water prevents you from getting dehydrated. So the next day you can actually function decently with all the alcohol getting out of your system as you move on through your day. So make sure you drink a lot of water. They usually say for every 1 drink, you need to drink a glass of water. Okay. And I learned the hard way sometimes from me not drinking water when I was younger. After drinking some alcohol and partying with my friends, the next day I feel very sluggish, and I just felt terrible. You know, you can't do anything about a hangover, but you can do something about dehydration. Now, when you have dehydration and hangover combined, you're going to feel terrible. So at the end of the day, if you're going to drink water behind it. That's my tip from LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, Larry. You just forgot. I'll say how I can be followed, and then you say how you can be followed. Didn't you tell me? You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tim McGiffin. Easy enough. McGiffin. Yes, I am a Mick.
Checking me out on Facebook, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. I'm also on Instagram, just Larry Estelle Jr. And I'm also on, I'm on LinkedIn, Larry Estelle Jr. And Instagram, you can look up LRE Fitness. You can find me at those places.
Cool. Till next week on Tid-Bits. Peace out, man.